All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of WKRP. We're in the Clear Network studio. Rob is on his phone, which is helpful in what way?
Well, I'll explain. I'm just posting a photograph on my Instagram, a really great photo I took yesterday.
Is it really great?
No, it's great.
Like, who said that it was really great? You said
Instagram
that.
People.
Are you going to show it to the people? You're not going to show it?
No. Of birds. They were a Canadian goose. And the reason this is important, well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not Canadian. They're Canada. I made a mistake. They're Canada geese. Because they're not Canadian. They don't have Canadian passports.
I mean, don't they?
You don't call
them. They can go back and forth, no problem.
You don't call them Canadian geese. They're Canada geese.
Where do they reside?
Well, in Montrose at the moment, so that's why.
So they're Montrovian geese.
No, they're Canada geese. It's the name of the species. Nothing to do with passports. Anyway, I took some photos yesterday because Montrose unveiled a new a bird blind, a bird photography, a bird watching blind.
That's is it like for handicapped birds?
Wow. You're really bad at this.
Am I?
It's a cool little spot. Just out.
What do they do for blind birds? How does that work?
Drive. I'm trying to.
Is it a refuge?
Hey, listen.
What?
We want to big the city. We want to tell people about things the city are doing.
Yeah.
We don't need your silly comments.
Okay.
Go
so you were in a bird blind that the city put together.
Yeah, I took some photos with my very fancy big telephoto lens, and they're pretty good photos.
I feel like you're just
which is a segue
for
today's guest.
All right. Do you want to introduce him?
Well, here's the thing.
I know why you want me to introduce him.
Yes, this is why. So I would like you
ready?
To do it. Yeah, go on.
All right, Thomas, welcome. Welcome to the show.
No. Full name, please.
Ceniceros.
Nailed it.
Wow.
Just
That's
like that.
the first time you've ever nailed it.
I feel like there has been a previous episode that'll probably go out before this one where you tried to catch me on German and it didn't work.
It worked better than that. Like,
I mean,
you were
I don't know.
Okay with that one.
Yeah,
this was kind of crazy. All right. Fair
all right. So Thomas, my first thing is you're the first guest that has stumped me in trying to do research on you before you got to the show.
Okay.
I want to know why. Are you in a witness protection program or something like that? Like, what's going on? Why?
Well, if I was, then I wouldn't be able to tell you, right?
Right. That's true. Oh, he got me.
Think about it.
Think it through before you say it, Dennis.
Good Lord. Well, explain.
Yeah. So
how
is
you usually stalk?
Is that by purpose? I mean, usually I'm cyber stalking people before they come on the show, so I can not sound like Rob, like completely detached and disinterested. Yeah.
I understand it might be a little more difficult. I would assume that you usually try to go on social media.
Yep, usual haunting grounds.
I try to stay away from that. At a certain point, I just realized it wasn't really helpful for me, and so I just got off and tried to use that time for something else.
So you're like a one of one.
Yeah. I guess I thought it was more common. At a certain point, you're just like, I don't really need it.
Well, I guess
that's probably the most healthy thing that any guest has come on the show and ever said.
It's more common, I think, amongst people who are older because they didn't get into it.
Yeah.
But you presumably were, like everybody else, kind of on the platforms, and then decided to get out.
Yes.
Do you still have accounts, though? Do you check them occasionally? Because I know people other friends of mine, they have Instagram and Facebook. They don't really use it, but they occasionally will go on to
Rob,
check.
don't you think if he doesn't have it, this isn't the forum to ask him if he has them and checks them?
It's interesting how people use it. I'm sure you have accounts still active.
Right? I think I have a Snapchat account still active. I used that a lot just because a lot of my friends used it.
Right.
And then I think I only had Instagram, and I got rid of that at a point because, that wasn't necessary. And then, at a certain point, Snapchat, I was like, no, people can just text me.
Yep.
It's not, just kept going, and eventually I got off. So,
Thomas, I want to help you out here. You sound fantastic.
Thank you.
But you've also got a great smile, and on the camera, you need to move that mic down just a little bit.
I got you. Thank you.
So
let me do that. Is that looking better?
There you go. You're perfect. All right. Now we can see you.
Perfect,
because I want to get your reaction to this, which you're not going to be able to see.
Okay, yeah.
So the audience is going to be able to see it.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what's coming, so don't tell them.
I've got 911 on speed dial.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the few places did you used to play rugby?
I did not. I played.
I
played football and lacrosse in high school.
What are you looking at me like that for? That was never a thing.
This was a thing. Well, now we got to find this Thomas.
Yeah.
No, the video that we're looking at, the lacrosse video.
Yeah.
That's him. You said rugby.
Oh, what did I say? Rugby?
Yeah, you said rugby.
It's the same sport.
What a muppet.
Close.
Did you play lacrosse?
I played lacrosse.
Okay, so
I
then this
told
is
you
you.
it's him.
Yeah.
If you checked your messages,
Well-
I literally confirmed and told you, yes, he said it's him.
Oh, okay. So I don't check my messages.
Play the. Play
I'm
the
going to play the clip.
Play the crime tape.
Okay, here's the because we just had the cops here. So
Okay.
if you guys can see this, I wonder if I can. I wonder if I can. Oh, I can't do it like that. All right, hold on. Here we go. Now watch this. You guys watch this. Bam. Here we go.
That
Here we go. This
is
guy. Bam.
Borderline
Holy
criminal.
mackerel.
That is
Did that guy-
borderline assault.
Did that guy remember the zip code that he was in after that happened? Like,
I hope so. I never tried to. I don't want to try to injure anybody, but when you're out there, you're trying to hurt people.
so I did see that you have an entire reel on. It's called Huddle, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Of just you with murder shots of people. And the best one is at the end of the video, and I could probably play it, get to it. Let's go back to it for a second here. Everybody that's out there in virtual land that can see this. I'm going to get down. Is this the one? Okay. Maybe this is the one. Watch this shot. And bam. Oh, yeah. Just takes him.
So-
and then he reaches down and helps the guy back up.
So I watched a movie last night actually called Goon.
Yeah.
It's a Canadian ice hockey movie. It's great.
Yeah.
You're a goon.
Yeah.
That seems to be what you were in the lacrosse world.
But
You're
it
just taking people out left, right, and center.
When you just knocked this guy's front teeth out and you reach down to help him
Right.
back up.
Well,
like,
that's it. It's not personal, right?
It's not. Yeah. Exactly. I think there's a kind of a line where you can injure somebody and that's horrible, but
No, you don't
I'm gonna
wanna-
go out and I'm gonna hurt you, right? Make sure you just limp away from it.
Yeah.
At least you're gonna make him flinch the next time the ball comes his way. He's gonna be like, oh, ooh. All right.
So that was you were playing for Montrose, right?
Yeah, that was back in probably 2019, and
So long ago,
yeah,
2019.
it feels forever.
So I mean, it's fairly evident, I would think, that you're one of the younger guests that we've had. We've had some really old people.
Yeah.
One of the younger guests. You obviously played high school sports for Montrose. So are you born and raised in Montrose?
So I'm not born. I was actually born in Albuquerque, but let's see. I moved over here when I was 1.5. So raised, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, I've been here for a long time. Went off for 4 years to college after that, but I came right back. So here I
What
am.
school did you go to?
I went to Washington State University up in Pullman.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And then decided to come back home.
Yep. Yeah.
What brought you home?
Not having any money.
That'll do it.
Yep. I was able to somehow get through college without any debt. So
Congratulations.
amazing. Yeah. Thank you. But if you're paying it off during then yeah, you don't have any money at the end.
Right.
So I had to come back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then how did you end up with the city in the position that you're in now?
Yeah.
And you're the community
Yeah.
events coordinator.
Yep. Pavilion and community events coordinator. It's
The pavilion as well.
yes.
Okay.
Pavilion too.
All right.
I don't do too much for them, but yeah, I'm still involved. So.
Okay.
But yeah, let's see. I think I was working over at Turner Automotive at the time when I came back. Just a little quick job for the summer, and I applied earlier in the summer to just a couple jobs. The city was part of that. Figured might as well. It's the city, right? Get great benefits, good job, probably good people. And they didn't give me a call back for a while, and so I kind of just assumed that I wasn't gonna be part of the process.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I think it was the day that I was about to just kind of tell my boss, like, I think I'm just gonna take a step back. I'm gonna just kind of do my own thing for a little bit. I don't have a job. I don't really have a job that I want, and I'm just gonna take the opportunity to go travel a little bit, see the place. And one of our employees in HR gave me a call, and they just said, like, hey, can we bring you for an interview? And so just kind of put a little stop to my plans, and I just kind of landed in my lap.
Yeah.
You turned back to the into Montrose and into the city and decided, now is this a career? How long have you been with the city?
I've been in the city for about 1.5 years. So it was 2 Octobers ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's been great. I love it. And yeah, I can, I love to see what I can do in the future with all these events that we go.
Is it what did you study, I guess is my question.
Yes. I studied hospitality and business management.
Okay.
So it a little related.
It's related.
Yeah. I definitely learned a lot more about the sales or financial side of like hotels and restaurants. That was kind of my expertise, but they trusted me with it, and I hope that I've rewarded them enough.
Well, you haven't been fired. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and your name is plastered all over the website.
Yeah.
In different places for sure. So you've got some events coming up.
Yes,
for the community.
True.
The first one that I want to talk to you about, and again, you can't see the screen, but I want to share this with everybody else. I'm sure you've seen the image. So you've got the Tough Mudder coming up.
Yes.
And check out this image.
It's called the Montrose Mudder.
The Montrose Mudder. Sorry.
Yeah.
Montrose Mudder.
Get it right.
Okay. This image that's on the front page for it, is that supposed to like motivate people to like sign up for this?
I honestly, I'm not even sure, because that was before I was even there.
This poor person's face looks like they are mortified to be going down this mudslide.
Yeah, we should try and find out who that is.
Yeah, no, that's great. Every time I see it, I just smile, and I don't want to move it down because I love it.
No, it's a great. It tells you exactly what you're getting into.
Yes, absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
So the event's coming up coming up Monday, May 5th.
No, it's actually going to be Saturday, May 10th.
Saturday, May 10th.
Yep, that's the
Because
Mudder.
that's what it says on the website.
Well, I'm looking right here. It says, these events.
Yeah. Keep reading.
Okay, I said it wrong.
Let's just give him a second.
Yeah, no worries.
All right.
Go on.
Well, I'm going through the page.
Yeah.
Noon on Friday, May 9th is the registration. Okay, all right.
Yeah, got to get people
Gotta keep
their
going.
bibs and their swag. Yeah.
So
There's going to be a beer garden.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, it's going to be
Food truck village.
Rotary. Yep.
Yeah,
Food truck village.
and there's a concert later that night too.
Yep.
Right? I mean, it's a full day out.
Yeah, season kickoff concert.
Yeah.
Yep, and we got Wowzers coming down, and it's going to be great.
That's going to be cool.
Wowzers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
I'll be there for the post party. Actually, I won't be here, but that's
John Sullivan, who he had on recently, we talked about Wowzers, and they seem excited because we tagged them on one of our posts, and they responded, and they're great. I remember them from the from last year. The
truck stop or
truck stop, yeah.
So
they performed for like 2 hours, I think, more than that maybe.
Yeah,
they're
that
great,
crazy,
and they're gonna find themselves really at home, I think, on that big stage at the amphitheater.
now as a large part of first of all, tell us what the Montrose Mudder is.
Yes. So it's basically a 5K mud run, right? So we have several obstacles throughout the course, but it's mostly just running because you don't have like 3 miles of mud, right?
Right.
So basically, it starts out at the amphitheater, right on those lawns, right out there. We quickly get you muddy and then get you going, and you're going to be running for a long time up and down River Bottom Park, up some very steep paths, which I had to walk the other day with John.
Where does it go? Does it go up to Sunset Mesa?
No, it goes more towards you guys know where the M is, right?
Mm-hmm.
The huge M. It goes right up there.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, we take the run all the way over there, and then at the very last little bit, you got several obstacles, mud obstacles.
Yeah.
And you finish going down the hill and right at the amphitheater, right where you started.
Going down the hill, that is where that image comes from. That main image, right?
So where are you coming down the hill at? Is it like right?
I don't know where or what if exactly it's called. I think it is Sunset Mesa, but if you're standing at the amphitheater, you'll literally see people like running down as they finish, just down the slope, and then they come in and they finish.
And presumably, because it's always, it's relatively dry here most of the time, and it will be.
Yeah.
So you obviously have to facilitate the mud.
Yes. I thankfully I don't have to.
Right.
It's a very, very serious job, and I've talked to Dan Payne, which I'm pretty sure he does most of it.
So does the fire department get involved here? And
I don't think so. There's like a little bit of water that they have, like a little. It's not a hydrant, but like water supply, and they just keep a hose on it and just run it like all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this gray water that we're talking about, or are we talking about like fresh water?
Hopefully fresh water, but I mean if it's gray water,
it won't be fresh
I guess you might not be able to tell with all the mud, right?
Yeah.
So it's a great event. This is year 2 or 3.
I think it's 4.
Is it 4?
I think it's 4.
Because I remember last year's quite well.
Yeah. Have you participated?
No, but I did take some photos. A couple of my buddies.
Did you take this one? No. Okay.
But I did take some of my buddies doing it. Great fun.
Yeah.
And it's a whole day long thing. It's really
so much fun that you decided to photograph it, not participate.
Well, I gotta use my.
I can't blame you.
I think
it's a lot of running.
Expertise.
Yeah,
You're gonna conveniently be out of town.
Yes, or else I would definitely do the sliding. I would do this part where you're sliding and mudding.
I don't think you'd be able to get up the hill to slide
No,
down.
I wouldn't be able to get up the hill. That would be the tough part.
If you're in town,
Well, you could take me up the hill, and then I could slide back
you're
down.
not going to be in town. But
won't be
moving
in town.
forward,
Right.
if we have fun events like this,
I will participate.
we will participate.
Oh, we. So you'll run and I can slide.
Oh, well, I mean, I would.
Yeah, he's got to carry the whole way. Yeah.
Do you have relays in the Mudder? That would see. Now that feels like
it
that
would be awesome, but
That wouldn't really be fair because I'd have to start at the amphitheater, get muddy, run up to the top of the hill, and you just get to go on the muddy slip and
That
slide.
sounds perfect.
That doesn't
We can
fit.
do that.
But it's a great event. But what I really like is that it's just it's symbolic of other events and where Montrose is heading and where people like you and John and Michelle and all the other guys and gals at the city who are really trying hard to bring cool events to Montrose.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's just kind of one of the first things that we start out with. You know, obviously we have Earth Week, but the Mudder really kicks everything off, and it's it's a great event. We partner with Montrose Rotary Group, and it's just an excellent event to just kind of get us all going.
Yeah.
And then you have another big event coming not too soon after that,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah, I have a couple. So it would be the 4th of July first, and we're going to be partnering with the Montrose Summer Music Series this year.
Okay.
Yep.
What is that going to look like?
Well, you
So
know,
because there'll be a concert going on at the amphitheater.
yes. So,
Okay.
I mean, 4th of July, obviously start with the Patriotic Parade up early in the morning.
Yeah.
And then going down at the amphitheater, we're going to have some kids' games, and eventually the concert will be later in the afternoon. But we don't know some people don't, including myself, know who the band is.
Yeah, Dave is
I think it's
keeping
gonna
that pretty close to his chest. I
He
think.
is. He's done a great job about that.
Yeah.
But
Is
it's
this like
gonna
a
be
Marvel
released-
thing? Like there's people that can be trusted, and
Yeah.
you're like the Tom Holland of the city. Like
I
Yeah,
guess,
right.
yeah.
Oops. yeah, you can't be trusted. But and then presumably fireworks at the end of the night.
Yep, fireworks at dusk. Let's see. I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be 9:40. We're gonna have a kind of strict cutoff, 9:30 and band time, and then 9:40.
And those fireworks, have you been previous years down to Cerise Park?
I haven't been.
Fireworks are up on usually up on Sunset Mesa, right? And
Yep,
everyone
you got
packs into Cerise Park. It's a great day.
I'm pretty lucky. I live in a really neat neighborhood that looks down directly at Sunset
You
Mesa.
Get to see
Oh,
those
yeah.
fireworks
So
anyway.
from my house, yeah, I have I don't have to worry about parking and crowds and everything else. I get to
Well,
enjoy
you
it
see,
right
this
from
is
my
one
deck.
of the beauties of Montrose.
Yeah,
Ride your bike. This is a
I could,
3-mile town. That's what me and a group of my friends do.
but I have a great view from where I'm at, so I don't really have to ride my bike anywhere.
Lazy.
Sometimes you can, you have a great spot.
Lazy.
I worked at McDonald's a while back, and that was one 4th of July. We were trying to get up on the roof to watch the fireworks, and
Yeah.
and then everybody came in and was like, okay.
Now I can't do it.
Yeah. So what else you got coming up?
Yeah, let's see. After the 4th of July, it's going to be FuncFest on August 8th and 9th, Friday and Saturday. It's going to be a concert the day before Friday, obviously. We're going to try to bring in some nice vendors, just kind of teach everybody about the Uncompahgre River, water safety, kind of why we created FuncFest.
Yep.
Just kind of get people interested. And then Saturdays when, everything just goes crazy. And
Yep.
yeah,
That's a great event too. I mean, often
Yes.
a lot of it's great community too. Like you can go down there and you see dozens of people you know.
It's a great day to
Yeah.
go down and hang out in the park and watch some of
Yeah.
these really cool athletes.
Well, and usually Montrose Surf and Cycle in the past have been there giving, free river surfing demos and stuff. So the river is active. Lots of people in the park. I want to ask you about the music because
Yes.
in previous years there has been a Bon Jovi tribute band.
Mhm.
I love Bon Jovi. They were good. These guys were really good too. And I think was it last year the
Prince, yeah.
tribute?
Prince tribute.
Was that last year? I think it was.
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
Purple Rain, I think they were called, and they were great, really good too. So I like the cover band thing. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts or ideas for this year? Because if you
We
don't,
do.
we can help you out.
Yeah, I mean, any year that you get, if you want to give me help, if you're thinking, I might want this band, just like next year in January, just shoot me an email, be like, hey, I want you to check this band out.
All right.
Absolutely, I'll do
So
that. for
you have thoughts and ideas for this year.
Oh yeah.
All right,
We,
well, we don't wanna-
we've been talking to some people, so
All right,
most
good.
of it's lined up.
All right, it's great. I love FuncFest.
Yeah.
it's great.
It is one of my favorite events that we
Yeah.
have in Montrose here. I think it's cool because I think it brings a lot of people outside of the community here
Definitely.
as
Oh
well.
yeah, it
So
definitely does.
how do you we had John on recently, John Sullivan.
Yep.
And one of the things that he said is he was really surprised at how much doesn't get said no to.
Right.
within the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of the opposite of what you might expect. Like
Yes.
usually, you know, I think people have this impression of cities and local government generally, and they kind of don't keep the purse strings tightly closed. But Montrose is different, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think John really nailed it. It's one of the things that I describe is that I love working with Bill Bell. He makes my job so easy. You know, if I go to him and I think of this idea and I think it'd be really nice to have this.
Yeah.
You know, I might need some help. He's on it and super supportive. I think one of the best examples of that was moving the tree lighting last year.
Right.
Obviously, the county building's under construction, and that the old tree is getting a bit too far on.
Yeah.
And so he spent a whole day with us going around Montrose just to find a tree. Yeah. And we settled right in front of the visitor center, and it was great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's just everybody, but yeah, Bill Bell has just been super, super supportive.
Yeah.
And he helps as much as he can.
I mean, it's great to hear that because everyone in city government, local government gets a bad rap from time to time. But I like that Montrose does these things. We have the tree lighting, but also the Mudder and FuncFest and all these big celebrations. Not every community this size is that lucky.
Yeah.
I don't think. So saying yes.
What do you think we should say? What do you hope that we could say yes to? It feels like we've got the beginning of summer kind of covered. We've got the main part of summer covered.
Yeah.
We have the Christmas parade at Christmas, which is,
Really?
always a big
At Christmas?
Well, it's
I think it's at Christmas.
first week of December. Yeah.
Halloween is a big one too.
Yeah,
Right, downtown Halloween.
Right.
Michelle-
Here's my
Michelle does a lot
question.
for that.
How do we get Bill to say no to something? Like,
what is something?
How big and
Here's the
wild do
thing:
we have to
you
go?
get legal to tell him no. That's how you do it.
So Bill doesn't say no. Legal say you cannot do that.
Is there anything that's so audacious that legal might say no to? Like what? Like we were looking, for example, we were like for the FuncFest. Could we add like the Red Bull style Flutenwager thing that they do with?
Flughafen
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. Can we do that?
I think
Would they say no to
I
that?
think legal might say no, but from liability insurance issues maybe because it might cost too much.
Yeah.
But it happens in other places, so why not here?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean,
All right, challenge accepted, Bill.
yeah, it's pretty easy. Legal definitely just kind of keeps an eye on us, just making sure we're not stretching ourselves too thin. And
Yeah.
I think as long as you get somebody to sign a waiver,
Somebody's got to run the
right?
asylum,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Well, how about this?
Sign a waiver.
The Mudder is in its probably fourth year, we think.
Yes.
FuncFest has been around a while.
Yes.
4th of July tends to happen every year,
Exactly.
right?
Christmas happens at Christmas.
Usually
yes.
happens at Christmas. What do you want to see come here that's new? If you had a blank check to say, you know what, we have a spot in the calendar. This is something I think would be good for the community. What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple like it, but I would just say some kind of wine festival. When I went to college, I got a minor in wine and beverage management. And so I just really grew to love just alcohol, how it's made, all the different kinds.
Yeah.
And I just love to bring in a ton of different people just to teach, right?
Yeah.
Just to show, this is how it's made. This is all the different things, because I just find that information so interesting. But there are a couple events like that.
Yeah, I mean, we have the Montrose Food and Wine,
right?
That's part of the Boys and Girls Club. I think there's room for other food and beverage events here, and they're very popular all over the state. I mean, you go to Breckenridge and Vale and Junction, Palisade. There's a lot of those things. We have a community that's big enough to support more than one or two smaller events.
Oh, we have a great venue or vineyard in town, or just out of town.
Yeah, Lee is doing great work down at the new Dubois. I should have let you say that. I missed the opportunity. But yes, so food and beverage is a big thing for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, learning about restaurants back in college. Yeah, that was a very big thing. Yeah, that was a lot of.
Well, you got to be
how
excited.
fast? How close were you to becoming a sommelier versus going the direction that you did? Was that on the plate?
It was kind of like one of those oh my gosh, that would be so cool if I could do it. But yeah, I mean, one of my teachers was a training sommelier. I think they were one step below master.
Yeah.
and she taught us a ton of information. It was just so cool. And yeah, I was definitely like, if I could be her, that'd be awesome, you know. But
well, I mean, the thing is, I don't want to necessarily, you know, focus on your age, but you're young enough. You have plenty of time.
Yes.
Like if you want to go into something like, he's too old to do anything new now. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? But there's a lot of opportunity. And here's the thing about Montrose, right? As you will be well aware, we're trending in a really good direction with F&B.
Yes.
We've got some places opening, and there are some plans to open some other places. So in 12 months, 24 months, I mean, within 2 or 3 years, this place is going to be, if everything I hear goes to plan, we're going to have some really, really nice places to eat and drink and stay.
Yes.
So that's exciting for me. And I mean, if that's your background, it must be exciting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I loved watching Shelter go in. You know, I definitely a big interest in, you know, distilleries too. And I've been able to tour the place a couple times. It's, I mean, you know, definitely an amazing place. And I mean, I don't know all the details that it took to get them in there, but I mean, we did some incredible work just for an amazing place to keep, you know, the people in this community happy. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were looking to expand out of California, and I'm sure there were plenty of other places like Montrose that were kind of vying for them to go to their town.
Oh yeah.
And it's cool to have a manufacturing facility here where, you know, their product currently goes, I'm sure in the future it'll go to all corners of this country. Made in Montrose.
Made in Montrose.
Nice.
And they're not the only one. We've got Storm King.
Yep.
Just won another medal.
Well, not just a medal either.
Yeah. What do you mean?
World's best American whiskey they won.
Isn't that a medal? Didn't they get a medal for it?
The organization, but they've won, and they've won that twice. So Dave is doing a great job over there. Alpen Confections, you know, and this is all. It's funny that we focus on things to eat and drink.
Pomona Brewery.
Pomona, great. No, we're really things are changing rapidly here.
We've got great internet with like people like Clear Networks.
Not just great internet,
the best internet.
Thanks, Clear Networks. We love you. Can you see the big thing? Good.
Yeah. Hey, do us a favor real quick, Thomas. Just go right here.
Ding,
ding, ding. Yeah. Clear Networks.
Yeah. You won't get in trouble for being a city employee. But we made you do
that.
I don't have my city logo on.
We
it's by your feet too, so don't worry. We labeled you whether you wanted it or not.
Perfect. Yeah.
Speaking of feet, I know this sounds like a segue. You're sitting quite comfortably on the really nice couch.
Yes.
Yeah. Most people don't. Some people's little legs dangle off the
end.
Including maybe, you know.
Oh, yeah, I heard
your boss.
About that.
Your boss and your boss's boss. I don't know. Who's your direct report? Who's your
my direct report would be Katie Schroer.
Okay.
So she's I mean I said the Pavilion and Community Event Coordinator. She's the Pavilion and Community Event Manager.
Okay, so it's pretty much everyone's boss at the city.
Yeah.
Is Bill.
What can we? There's a good question. What more can we do at the Pavilion? It seems like a great resource that's been around for a long time.
Yep.
We've had some really cool things. Rob reminded me the other day that we had Second City.
Yep.
There.
Second City improv troupe from Chicago,
which is insane.
Yeah, they're super. They basically fueled Saturday Night Live throughout the 70s.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Everyone who's ever been on that show and is really, really good has usually come from the Second City. And we had their touring group come to the Pavilion. I saw them.
Yeah.
Incredible show. But I feel as if the Pavilion has tailed off a little bit. And that may be because people are not stepping up to bring these things to town. Like, it's not the city's responsibility entirely.
What is it? Well, educate us. What's the process of like figuring out the schedule at the Pavilion, and who really is that?
Yeah.
Does that have to go through? Does the Pavilion have to decide who they want to have come be part of the schedule, or can people bring events to the Pavilion?
Yeah. Let's say we want to bring Second City back. How do we do that?
Basically, you'd either give me or my manager a call. Let's just say you called me. I don't have any direct booking kind of access. Yeah. So what I do is I just take a look at the calendar. Does your date that you're trying to fit again? Is it good? If so, that's perfect. I'm gonna give you like a pricing packet just to take a look at.
Okay.
And I'll send you off to my manager, and we'll get everything figured out.
What about money?
Money.
Is there any money from the city to help people bring events here?
Absolutely. So I think it's just like the amphitheater where we offer a lot of discounts to nonprofits.
Right.
And there actually is a discount for Montrose residents.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, if you're a resident in Montrose, it is cheaper to book at the Pavilion than non-residents.
Right.
So yeah, we try to help bring stuff in, and I do agree that maybe it's fallen off a little bit, not in a bad way, but just that I think we all need to to just keep going. Like we need to keep bringing in ideas. And if like you have a great idea, absolutely bring it over here. We're going to try to help you make it possible.
Well, WKRP is definitely a non-profit.
Yeah.
Not officially, but
we're non-profiting is what you're trying to say. We're not a non-profit.
We don't really make.
We're not a not-for-profit.
No, we're not a not-for-profit. However, again,
but we're non-profiting.
The reason this thing keeps going is because of our generous sponsors.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks, Clear Networks. And if anybody else wants to get involved and make this a for-profit enterprise, call us on. I don't know what the number is.
970-316-3162. That was a shameless plug, just straight from money.
Yeah.
Show me
the money.
And then
help me help you.
We'll use some of that money to bring events to the pavilion. And
absolutely,
then we'll plaster your name all over it. But we still have a lot of room for growth, right? Is I guess the thing. We've got several well-established events now, but we've got the pavilion, we've got the amphitheater, we've got places like Cerise Park, and a lot of other public parks. We can do more stuff here.
Absolutely, yeah. There's with the places that we have, there is just so much room, right? Yeah. I mean, the amphitheater, like who could? I mean, I guess growing up here, right? You know, ever since it was much smaller, I never would have dreamed to have such a nice venue, right? I mean, it's absolutely amazing, and it can hold up to, you know, however much you want to do.
I hear that if you were to fence off, let's say Cerise Park, and called that the venue, we can get more people in there than Red Rocks.
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
Yeah,
but do you remember what was there before then? It was the old homestead.
Yes,
and it was basically nothing. It was a nice little historical thing.
Mm-hmm.
But to go from that to, frankly, it's ridiculous how good that amphitheater is. Yeah, and I don't think people fully appreciate. They don't fully appreciate it yet. Yeah, but the fact that you can hire it for next to nothing is great. What that means, though, is I don't really want to hear complaints about. Why don't we have this? We can't have this, blah, blah, blah. Make it happen.
All right. So we asked you, what's an event? Mm-hmm. What's a music act that you would like to see come to the either the pavilion or to the amphitheater?
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
And go dream.
Yeah. Dream. Dare to dream big, my friend.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this isn't like a big dream, but it's an important dream to me. I would love to just see like a Glenn Miller tribute. He's my favorite artist ever. But
you are an old soul.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Well, we'd have to make it all like misty.
Yeah.
And then at the end, Glenn Miller just disappears.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened to him.
Yeah.
That's doable. That should be very doable.
It should be doable. Yeah. I mean, like, and if, you know, we're going to get a whole, like, big band in there, too. Yeah. That's certainly possible.
Right. I mean, thank God. I thought you were going to say something like the Eagles. I was like, they're doing a Sphere residency. I'm not sure even the city can swing that. But Glenn Miller?
Glenn Miller, yeah.
That seems
man,
very doable.
People need to hear his music. Like, I feel like so many people back in the day, you know, everybody knew him.
Right.
And then you go now and it's just like, oh, no.
Can we get like the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones? Can we bring back...
you know, the best part is there are ways to make this happen because Grand Junction often has bands that are legacy bands, right? They're not at the top of their game
Cheap Trick is playing there.
But Foreigner have played there.
Yeah.
And Africa and bands like that. It should not be that difficult to persuade them, as long as there's no radius clause and stuff like that, to drive an hour to play at our venue. That should be possible if they're already doing those.
Who's on your Mr. Bon Jovi over there? Who's in your big hair, big band era that you'd like to see come back?
Are we talking about ridiculous will never happen?
Well, I think you should just like who would you think?
Is bands like Bon Jovi, not Bon Jovi, little one tier down.
Who were the twins with the long blonde hair? What was their name? Do you remember that? Like they were like a one-hit wonder.
No.
Oh God! You guys make sure that you comment on this video. You know who I'm talking about, especially if you were born at least in the 80s.
He doesn't know. If he likes Glenn Miller, doable though, very doable.
Yeah, Warrant. What about Warrant?
Yeah.
What, no?
Anything like that. Big hair metal bands I love.
It would be great.
Do a great show. The lighting setup and everything there is great.
Can we get the members of Poison back together and actually put them in there like Lycra and they're...
Any of those guys.
They could wear wigs now. Most of their hair is probably falling out, but you know.
So the point is we have a lot of opportunity here.
Absolutely.
You know, and we need, as a community, it's a very public-private partnership, right? We, as the members of the public, can have an idea and go to the city and say, I'd like to do this, come and speak to us. We will help if we can facilitate things like this too.
So call Rob 970-316-3162.
That's not my number.
And leave him a message.
Yeah.
But really,
I'll play it on repeat for him.
If you and there are businesses in town that want to support this kind of thing too. Businesses that have tons of money, apparently. But
is there that much money just floating around Montrose that I don't know about?
They will help. I mean, there are companies, you've seen their logos on everything. They support all kinds of events. I'm sure they're open to a couple more.
All right.
All right, enough about work.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, we touched on your personality there with a bit of Glenn Miller, which
Glenn Miller, yes.
I won't say shocked. I'm not shocked. It surprised me a little bit. But tell us a little bit more about yourself then. What do you do when you're not wearing your
my City shirt?
Montrose shirt?
Yeah. Let's see. I don't do too much. I'm kind of a private person, and what I really love to do is just bake. I love baking cakes, cookies. Love to read, and just kind of exploring liquor. Yeah,
I would have thought a baker might have brought a cake.
Yeah,
to a podcast.
just to
to showcase his.
How about this? Next
to make
time you
friends.
bring me on, I'll bring out your cake.
Yeah, exactly. Just so we treat you nice.
What are you reading? What's the last book you've read?
Oh, it was Musui's Story. It's actually a book I was supposed to read in college. I didn't, but it's about this samurai back in the I think it was the Tokugawa era, and just talking about how he just lived his life like way too free and didn't follow kind of all the strict codes back in the day. And it's basically, he's like, he kind of says that like, oh, you need to live your life better, right? But then he just kind of goes and talks about like how cool his life was and like, oh yeah, look how cool I was. And it's really crazy. But
was he what they call a Ronin? In that, like
probably not.
He was like a
samurai with no master.
Right. Yeah, I think it was a.
I like the sound of this guy.
Yeah,
doesn't take things too seriously. Doesn't follow.
Doesn't show up to work.
Standard practices.
Comes in 5 minits before a podcast and just sits down and goes, "What are we doing today?"
If he was living in this era and in Montrose, he would have a podcast, and it would be very, very loose like ours.
Okay,
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, do you, how else do you enjoy our area though? Do you get outside? You mountain bike? You fish?
Yeah, I don't do anything. I don't do anything too crazy. I like to walk. Honestly, just walk around. Yeah, I just like to take it in. Yeah. Take it nice and slow, and then if I can, I usually just kind of go help around at a ranch or a farm that I can, and it's always fun. So
well, we got a great walking path.
Oh yeah.
When is that coming? When is that going to be like?
You on about the bike path?
Yeah, unintruded again.
Oof.
Yeah.
You have to explain yourself there.
Well, because the construction for the new facilities.
No,
I know it's open, but
public
the
works.
new public works
yeah.
building. Yeah. No, the bike path is still
like that might be like 2 years out.
Yeah.
That's a big building that's going in. So
and it's a bike path. Everyone's allowed to use it for other things.
Like what?
Don't get annoyed with.
Do you rollerblade?
Bikes on the bike path. Yeah. Because if somebody's on a bike and somebody gets even a little bit irate, maybe they have to be reminded that they're walking on a bike path.
I don't know. I don't think this is like directed at me, but I'm going to defend somebody that goes.
It's not directed at you. It's directed at people who don't.
There are people on the bike path though that need to learn the idea, that are on bikes that need to learn the idea of on your left, on your right as I'm coming up behind you.
That may be so.
Yeah.
No, it does not. Maybe so. It's so.
No, I'm saying
it should happen.
Probably some people.
Yeah.
Just,
okay.
You're on a bike path.
It's just like you not knowing how to use a roundabout. I don't know what your problem is, Mr. I'm from some other country that uses roundabouts.
Don't get me started on roundabouts again.
Okay. All right. Well, I really appreciate you coming to join us, Thomas. It was great for sitting on the couch. That went by fast.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
That was super fast.
When you're talking about, all of
fun stuff,
the great things we have coming up, time, it goes quickly. Well, I mean, we appreciate your efforts, you personally, and at the city for kind of bringing these things here and keeping them going, more importantly, because it's very easy, I think, sometimes to have events and they go okay, and then the next year, maybe there's some changes in personnel at the city and events don't continue.
Yeah.
4th year for the Mudder. How long has FuncFest been going?
Gosh,
that's a while.
I think it's like 9.
Yeah,
9 to 10.
That's a while.
Yeah.
And obviously we have the amphitheater now, so we're doing well, but we can do more as a community. So if you have ideas, right? Don't hesitate to reach
Come,
out to the
come
city
with it. Bring it.
and talk to us.
Yeah.
We're all about stupid ideas, and I would love nothing more than to get a no from Bill. Because, okay, you've taken this I say yes to everything far too seriously.
You've taken it way too far.
Don't make ideas really ridiculous, but if it's even possible, we will help if we can facilitate things.
So recently, people online have been bringing back the ice bucket challenge and challenging people for the sake of something good.
No,
hopefully,
get a new challenge.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I wouldn't know because I'm not on social media.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, don't recycle old challenges. What is it for this time though?
Well, I don't remember.
Oh, good.
I don't know.
Maybe it's for old men who forget stuff all the time.
It's what are we talking about?
Exactly.
So my reason for bringing it up is who would you like to challenge to be in the seat on WKRP next? Is there somebody? I really want somebody to come ready with this question. Like, it doesn't have to be somebody that you know. It could be somebody that you want to know about or that you're interested in.
It doesn't have to be somebody from the city or whatever.
Yeah.
It could be a parent or a brother or just a guy who works at a taco. It could be
a teacher.
Anyone you want.
Yeah, gosh, probably the new owner at the Bridges. I want to learn more about what's going on over there.
All right.
Okay.
We can reach out
about
for
that new lounge out there that they got back there. I'd heard about. So
there you go.
The members lounge.
Yes, the
that's
members lounge
in the Bridges,
the,
and then they've done a lot of they've done a lot of new. They remodeled the restaurant too, which will reopen soon. So that's going to be different, and which by the way has an entire wine wall.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
that's going to be on.
I'm excited. Yeah,
You're excited.
All right. I'm going to be going over there.
We'll make some inquiries.
Perfect.
See who we can get on to tell us all about what's going on over there.
All right, everybody. So make sure coming up May 10th, right?
May 10th. Yep, Saturday, May 10th.
But sign
the Montrose Mudder.
Sign up beforehand, right? There are no day of sign-ups.
No, I mean you can run, but then you won't be racing.
Sign up before that.
Registration is on the website.
Yep, you got it.
Visit montrose.com. Okay, and then the FuncFest.
Yep,
the 4th of July, 4th of July parade. The concert, the FuncFest,
Summer Music Series,
Summer Music Series.
Tied in with that. Yeah.
What else? Are we missing anything?
I mean, if you want to go all the way to the holidays, yes, but that's a little ways away.
Yeah, let's not do that. I don't want to start thinking about.
We'll have time to bring you back.
Yeah,
we'll give you a second chance at
bringing a cake.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe we'll get you on next time after hours too.
Oh yeah, there you go.
We'll get some wine.
Oh,
maybe we'll get Lee to.
I can bring you guys some wine. Yeah, I got some good Washington State wine. Yeah,
all right,
to bring that around.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
We'll get some Colorado wine too. Just
you got.
We'll compare.
Keep it real.
Compare and contrast.
No competition. Colorado wine.
Hands down.
Storm Cellar.
Yeah.
You know where it's at.
All right. There we go. All right, guys. It's been another episode of WKRP Montrose. Thomas, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Make sure that you go to all these great events here in Montrose, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Thank you.